back to the Truth Be Told podcast. This is episode 9. Baby, are you ready for the smoke?
No.
You all, we have a special guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
My name is Kia. Instagram Angels2K.
Make sure
Sorry.
you're talking to Mike.
Sorry.
Okay, y'all. So, y'all know how we start each and every episode. This episode is no different, but we are going to start it off by introducing this episode. This is going to be your special episode because this episode is sponsored by Glow Angels. Make sure you all copy some lip gloss by my girl. She has how many different flavors of lip gloss?
I want to say I got about 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 15 different flavors. So make sure you all check her out. Get you some lip gloss by Glow Angels. So we start this episode every single time with a shot o'clock. So you ready?
No.
Too bad. So let's get into it. So cheers to episode 9. It's gonna be a great episode. We're gonna be telling our truth. We're gonna be talking about moms, entrepreneurship, and a little bit of survival.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh. So,
Edit this out.
woo. Okay, go ahead. Get your shot. Let me get your Red Bull. Oh yeah, need that.
That was intense.
We do start off every episode with 2 truths and a lie. So we want to hear what is your 2 truths and what is your lies. So at the end of the episode, she will reveal which one was the lie. So go ahead and let us know.
2 truths and a lie.
Mhm.
Ooh. Mm.
And then I'll guess, and then we'll let the audience guess as well which one they think is the lie.
Okay. Let's see. I have 3 children,
Mhm. Mhm.
a mixture, boys and girls.
Okay. Okay.
I am legally married.
Okay.
And let me see, what's another one? I'm gonna say something. My favorite color is red.
Okay, y'all. So y'all heard her 3 statements. Which one do y'all think is the lie? Comment down below which one y'all think is the lie. I think I know which one is the lie, but we'll reveal the lie at the end of the episode. Okay. So you are a heart of a warrior. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So I got some questions for you. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. So what inspired you to become an entrepreneur, and what motivated you to start your own business?
Um, I've always liked working. I just don't like working for someone.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was like, I want to do something for myself.
Okay.
And initially, I didn't know what that was. And I've always been into makeup, but I got into it really, really, really heavy. Like, I want to say it was 2016.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm like, okay, I could do a makeup line. And so my sister and I both discussed it. We came up with, I guess, what you would call a business plan.
Okay.
And it took us a while because we were kind of like motivated, but not really. I
Mhm.
think working a real job really gets in the way of that too.
Yes, definitely. I understand that.
And so, of course, eventually we were like, okay, well, let's just start small and start with lip gloss.
Okay.
So I went researching to find vendors and found a vendor, got the product, still didn't launch it. It took maybe 3 years.
What?
3 years, had the whole product for 3 years.
Okay.
I think I just kind of lost my motivation a little.
Okay.
So that kind of put me at a standstill.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So let's get back into it. So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced when starting your business, and how did you overcome them?
The biggest challenge I would say was just launching the brand itself.
Okay.
That
Gotcha.
was just my only challenge because finding a vendor was pretty easy, which most people have to test a lot of people out to get the perfect product, but I really didn't have to go through that. Everything was good with the person I found.
Okay.
It was just getting the business off the ground.
Okay. Understandable. Can you share a memorable success story or milestone moment from your entrepreneurial journey?
A milestone would be me just launching the brand overall, which I did January 6th of this year.
Okay.
And yeah.
Right after our birthdays.
Yes.
Thank you all. We have the same birthday, so.
Yes, that was a big deal. That was my milestone.
Okay.
And my friends were super, super, super supportive. Like, everybody bought the brand. Like, they bought multiple. They bought like 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so big deal.
All right. So, how do you stay motivated and resilient in the face of setbacks or obstacles?
I have children.
Okay.
So that is my motivation. That is what keeps me going.
Okay.
I can't stop.
Got it. I get it. So, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting out?
It's not as easy as it sounds.
Okay.
People think that they can just become an entrepreneur and you're gonna make money immediately. You're not. Most of that money is going to go towards the brand
Okay.
before you receive a real profit from it.
Gotcha. That makes sense. How do you balance the risk and rewards of entrepreneurship?
Uh, how do I balance it?
Yes.
Hmm. I really don't think I've gotten that deep into it just yet.
Okay. That makes sense. So, what are some common misconceptions about entrepreneurship that you've encountered?
The misconception is that, as I stated before, that you're gonna make money immediately,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
you're not. It's not happening.
Yeah, it's going to be on the back end.
Yeah, you definitely putting more of your money into it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So what did you start how much did you start your brand with? Or like, what did you and your sister say, we're going to put this aside? Like, what was a good number for you that both of you all were comfortable? Okay, like, yeah, we're going to start with this amount.
So we kind of had it was at a good time. We had it easy.
Okay.
My boyfriend at the time, he actually funded
Okay.
the business.
Gotcha.
He gave us the money to start it. And that's kind of how that went.
Okay.
So we really didn't even have to put no money into it, like, initially.
Okay.
Of course, when we had to get more product, that was from us. But like, he bought the LLC for us, and he purchased the bulk order.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. How do you prioritize and manage your time effectively as an entrepreneur?
I actually like do both. Like, while I'm doing my actual job, I in my downtime in between my job, like when it's slow, it's not busy, I'm like writing everything down, or I'm researching things online. Like,
Gotcha.
that is what I do throughout the day.
Okay. Makes sense. Can you share any lessons you've learned from failures or mistakes in entrepreneurial journey?
Uh, I don't know if I've had any failures just yet.
Okay.
Um, I think my failures will be when I kind of move or transition into a different product, not just the lip gloss, but like the foundation aspect of it, because that's so tedious. Like, that is something that you really have to do your research on.
Gotcha.
I think I'm gonna have a little
Shaky.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm worried.
Gotcha. Looking ahead, what are your future goals and aspirations for the future of your business?
Future goals. I definitely want to get it to where I'm like in Sephora, Ulta, even beauty
Oh.
supply stores. That's where I want to
Yes.
be. That's the
Okay.
level I want to get to.
I got it. I got you. So, do you have any questions for me on entrepreneurship?
Of course I do.
Let's get into it. I'm ready for the smoke.
Yes. So, what made you start your own business?
So I've actually had 3 separate business. I've had Coastal Vacations, I have KB Custom Crafts, and I also have the Truth Be Told podcast. So me wanting to start my own business was the simple fact of, like you said, I kind of don't want to work for somebody, and I'm really bossy. I'm a very bossy
Oh, yes.
person. So I think that really made me want to start into just having my own business and having my own, and I'm really into the whole having multiple streams of income.
Okay.
So that really just, triggers me to want more for myself, and I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to start building for my future family. So in that case, I need to go ahead and start having the streams of income already flowing, so that when my kids come, they can fall into something. It's not just like
Get a job.
you have a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have a mom, and your mom goes to work 9 to 5. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to be like I'm still able to spend time with my kids. I'm able to travel with my kids and coastal vacations. It was really because I really love to travel, but I got to a point in that business where I felt like people was playing in my face, and two, it was just like people weren't taking it as serious as I was taking it. So now I'm at a point where it's like I'm going to travel, but I'm going to travel with my friends, my family, my
Yeah.
significant other, things like that. I'm not going to travel with, or I first of all I would never travel with customers, but
Yes.
I'm not going to travel in a sense of I am or somebody I'm spending more time helping you plan a trip and you never go on a trip.
Okay.
So I think that was like the big thing with that. KB Custom Crafts is just I'm super busy. It's a very tedious project to do KB Custom Crafts. Like it's a resin business. So you have a lot to do within that business. Like it's not like I just go in, mix something and it's done. Like it is a lot and it takes a lot of research to know what products to market, what projects to market, what time to market them. And I think that right now with me being on active duty orders, it is a lot harder for me to kind of focus that in, which is why I do have a marketing manager to kind of help me here and there. But right now I'm just in a transition phase where that business is not just on the forefront. But with truth be told podcast, I do think that it is an outlet for me. It's a form of therapy, a form of
It is.
counseling for me, and I'm able to speak my truth without telling everybody my business, but also I'm telling people things that I've experienced and how I've gotten through them. That's why I'm so heavily on my platform. I talk about going to counseling because I think that counseling helps people in a lot of ways, and certain people they don't think that it will, but there's always different forms of counseling. Counseling isn't always sitting down at a table with somebody. It's or sitting in chairs talking to a therapist laid out. Like it can be going on walks, art therapy, gym therapy. Like gym is a therapy for me. So
Same.
yes, that is why I decided to start my businesses.
Okay. So what was the coastal like? Is that like a travel? Was it like a travel agency kind of
Yes,
deal?
it was travel agency. So I would help people. I would plan their trips for them, and then send them the entire itinerary on whatever everything they needed for the trip, activities, flights, hotels, everything. And oftentimes, I just kind of felt like people was just not so serious about the trip. Like people would be like,
Never
"Hey,
are.
I want to go to Bora Bora, but I only have $300. Where can I go?" And it's like, let's be for real, okay,
Yeah.
baby? You're going to the house.
That's
That's all.
it.
That's the only place you're
Cause
going
you
with three
ain't
hundred
going nowhere
dollars.
in the States for $300, baby.
Nowhere, because outside is expensive. It
It
costs
is.
$100 just to walk out there. So yeah,
Yeah, you're
so
right.
that was that business.
Yeah, I love that. Oh God.
Yeah.
Girl, you be ready.
Uh-huh.
Got your little
If you stay
question.
ready, you ain't have to get
Yeah.
ready. Okay, so you ready to get into the next topic, or you got some more questions about the entrepreneurship?
No, that was my main question for you.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. So we are going to get into the next topic, and just for purposes, we are going to abbreviate certain things that we are talking about throughout this thing. We are going to be getting into a little bit of DV. And I want you all to know this is a very sensitive topic for us both, but we are being very vulnerable in this position to talk about this topic. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, how has DV affected you?
Um, it's given me really bad anxiety.
Mhm.
It's definitely made me less trusting.
Mhm.
Um, but man, it's really just the anxiety for me. Like
Mhm.
people don't know that really changes your whole thought process, like
Mhm.
everything. Like there was a time where I didn't even feel comfortable having my eyes closed too long cuz I felt like somebody was standing over me or going to come and hurt me. Like it was
Bad.
intense. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Did it impact you in future relationships or even friendships?
Oh, definitely. Um Relationship wise, it's kind of like everything's triggering.
Mhm.
Like you raising your voice, you throwing things, just any little thing can be triggering, or even like the way you communicate overall. That can really put you in that space and you can just shut down immediately.
Gotcha.
Friendship wise, not necessarily, but it's I know when it happened to me, it was like really weird because my friends didn't know for a really long
Mm.
time.
Gotcha.
And then when they finally found out, they were devastated. Like it was just like I feel like they treat me a little differently now. Like they handle me so like
Gentle.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Because they're worried about how I maybe feel or if I'm in a fragile state.
Yeah. I think that for me being in my situation, it made me realize who I really had as a friend, because obviously it wasn't for me. It wasn't like a quick time. It was a quick turnaround for me. It was like, this happened, I'm done.
Okay.
So when that happened to me, and then I voiced it to my friends, a lot of my friends were very, you need this, you need that. I'm coming to help you. What you need, X, Y, and Z. And then a lot of people were standoffish, like, oh, you should have been left him. Oh, you should have been did this. Or you should have been did that.
Ooh.
And those type of people made me realize that I don't need you in my life, because I think
Yeah.
that everybody moves at their own pace, and you can't really be mad at somebody not moving at a certain pace. But if it affects other people, I think that you should be mindful that this is like, let's just say, for example, if it affected somebody in your family or somebody that you call your friend, I think you should be mindful that you love and care about this person in a platonic aspect and not a relationship aspect.
Right.
So you should not let certain things trigger or, you know, interfere with that relationship. So I think that at that point, it's like a let me check myself type of thing.
Right.
So I've never been in a situation where it has affected, like, my situation never affected my friends, but it did affect me, which affected my relationship with my friends, because now I'm standoffish.
Okay.
Now I don't really have much to say. Now I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
shaky.
I get it.
So yeah. So what are some long-term effects of DV on survivors' mental health and well-being?
Um, long term, it's just you're never gonna really fully trust anybody again.
Okay.
No matter how or what you do. And granted, like we just talked about therapy. I'm
Mhm.
in therapy, and therapy, I feel like it helps me, but again, I'm not as trusting, only
Okay.
because I felt like that situation just, it's very life changing. Like, because before you're in that situation, you just always think that was never happened to you. It's
Yeah.
never gonna be you. And
Mhm.
once it becomes you, like, or you're there, your whole thought process is different.
I think that is a big thing too, to never say never, because it can very well be you, and then when you're in that situation, it's kind of hard for you to say, "Hey friends, I'm going through X, Y, and Z," because you said
It
it's
is.
never, 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 never going to be me, or "Hey
Yes.
family," or "Hey mom," or "Hey dad, this is what I'm going through." So I think that is very important as well. Just to come to reality, to terms with a lot of things that you are going through, and to seek the help that you need. And even if, like you said, you're not as trusting with your counselor, but I also feel like you should do other forms of therapy outside of that, so that you can get more trusting, because at the end of the day, it's like illegal for her to tell your business anyway.
Right.
But I think that having someone that's unbiased always helps you. I think with my counselor, the main thing was like, she was like kind of shocked at certain things that I would tell her.
Yeah.
And then it kind of made me sit back and was like, am I the problem? Why did I stay so long? I should have been left this situation. I should have been left this
I
person.
agree with that, honestly.
So I think that was like a thing for me. It was like very triggering for me to go through, was her just being like, like,
But of course, like, you got to remember, like, if someone's never been in that situation, it really does take people by surprise. And
yes.
that's what I try to explain to, like, people around me, because there were people that were on some, like how you just said, why didn't you leave, or like stuff like that, because people don't understand it. Like,
Yeah.
people think in those situations it's just so simple.
Yeah.
And then for me, I have kids, and we had a
Um,
kid together, and
mhm.
we were married, and then it's like, you
It's a
know
lot. It's a lot. And it's not so easy to just pick up your life and leave.
it,
Although you would want to
it
be this
wasn't.
strong person that does this, it's kind of hard.
And you
It's
want to
harder.
see the good in somebody, so you kind of just like, okay, maybe it won't happen again, or it'll get better, or,
Yeah.
and then when you're keeping it a secret, that
Yeah.
doesn't really help.
So did you really think that in your situation, did you think things would change? Like did they apologize and say, "Oh," and then you thought that things were going to change, or how was that for you?
Initially I did when it first happened. And then when it like kind of became a thing,
Mhm.
I was like, and the first time was like the worst out of all the time, kind of.
Okay.
But it was kind of like, I've had a tussle before.
Right.
That was not a tussle. And
Mhm.
then it was just like, oh my God. And so, of course, when he said he was sorry and it'll never happen again, I was trusting that it wouldn't.
Mhm.
But as it continued, I was just like, I feel like I was just in a tough spot just based off of my children as a whole. That was my first thought.
Okay.
And it never like happened in front of them. Like they never saw anything, thank God.
Mhm.
But I think I just was more so like, I just want my family to be together.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
And so I tried to like, okay, like it won't be as bad going
Mhm.
forward. But no, it was getting worse, and it was just like I got to a point where I was just like, okay, no.
Gotcha. Okay, that definitely makes a lot of sense, and it puts a lot of clarity into certain things, and I think it helps you also in future relationships to know, like, I think a lot of times women, even men, we let the Six Flags, the red flags turn into Six
Oh,
Flags. We at the
so bad.
amusement park, we at the water park, we are having a blast, and I think that that is a big thing of not letting the red flags turn. Like when you start getting those little signs, if the things are not nipped in the bud, it's like, all right. You know what to do.
You really
Leave
should
me alone.
take the
Yes.
signs.
I think it's harder though to take the signs when you're like in love with a person,
And then
you
that
want
little,
a yes.
oh, that love bombing phase. That's what it is. Really, really
Yes. So
bad.
you believe in love bombing?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I don't really have a clear understanding of what love bombing is.
I can explain.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Love
Love.
that.
Okay, so it's love bombing is like they come into your life and it's like really strong, like it's intense. Like they're doing
Uh,
everything in their power to like pull you in.
mm.
And then once they get you in and they feel like it's secure, she really, 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 really loves me, likes me, whatever the case may be,
Ooh.
switch quick,
360.
quick, real
Oh,
quick.
180.
And it gets ugly. Like it's not, and you be just so shocked that this is the person
Yeah.
that was doing all of these things to make you fall in love with them.
Oh wow.
It's really scary.
I think that I guess I have went through love bombing. Like in
Oh, you're gonna go through it with this person that's abusive for sure because you never saw them as that person initially.
yeah.
You never thought that was gonna come from the person who did it to you,
Right.
and
Okay.
so you definitely were love bombed.
Woo!
Yeah.
Shaky.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 9 is sponsored by Glow Angels. Make sure you all copy you some lip gloss at glow.angels. Now let's get back into episode 9. Okay, so I am going to say, what are some common myths or misconceptions about DV?
As I stated the first time, it's people say, "Oh, why you just didn't leave the first time?"
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Okay.
It's not.
Ooh, that makes me think about it because I think some common misconceptions that people have is that for me, for my situation, that I had been going through the abuse and the this and the
Yes.
that and the third. And I wasn't going through it. It literally happened one time and it was like one and done for me. And I think something really big in me um is that I keep the mindset of I don't want my daughter to think that
Yes.
this is okay.
Right.
Like when I have children, I don't want them to say, "My mommy went through this, but her and my daddy they stuck it out." Like absolutely not.
That really sits with you. Like when I was a kid, I saw
Mhm.
domestic violence before.
Yes.
That really like sticks with
It
you.
sticks.
So you
Yes.
definitely don't want your children to see that or
Mhm.
like experience that because now you've given them trauma that they didn't need.
Yes. I think that is a big thing too with kids going through trauma and the way that the trauma is for kids because kids may not speak up on the trauma when at their age that they're at that it happened, but it'd be like 5 years down the line. It's
When
like,
they're
but
older
daddy did that to you type thing
and
or
they
da
can
da da da.
process it. Yes, once
Yes.
they're old enough to process it, then it kind of affects them in a weird way. And
Yes.
now think about them going into a relationship with somebody based off of what they have seen or what they thought or was taught to them.
Yes. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are gonna pause right here. I just want to let you all know that this episode is sponsored by Glow Angels. Make sure you
Get
all
you
go
some.
cop you some lip gloss. Now let's get back into it. Okay, so what were the red flags that you ignored?
For me, the first one was the little temper tantrums.
Mm,
Those are, I need people to take that
key,
serious.
very key.
Yes, that's very important.
Yes,
Please don't ever think that he just got anger issues. That's not even a thing.
right.
It's the temper tantrums. Um, it was also like just overly emotional about certain things. Like that is really odd to me.
Mm, gotcha.
And then people think it's really cute for a man to be possessive over you,
It's
but
not.
it's actually not. Like that's a red flag. You should be afraid of someone who is like extremely possessive.
Yes. So I am going to briefly clip onto this of the red flags that I ignore. I definitely ignored the temper tantrums and the tantrums when the person was hitting themselves. So I'm
Ooh,
thinking like, oh, they're hitting
yeah.
themselves, like, they're getting their anger out, this is that and the third. And I'm not the type of woman that will like step to a man or get in their face and, do the whole provoke you type of thing. But I think that that was just like a really big red flag because I'm thinking in my head, this person will never put their hands on me. Like,
Right.
why would they put their hands on me when
Right.
they could just walk off, they could just leave. They don't have to be in this relationship. I think that is a big thing that I did ignore was that specifically. And the possessiveness was like actually insane, to where like I couldn't even hang out with my guy best friend. And my guy best friend is a non-negotiable in any relationship that I am in, simply because my guy best friend has been there through every single relationship I have been in. We've never had anything going on the side, slick. Oh, we curious, nothing. We've
It shouldn't be
been
negotiable though.
Yes, we're friends. And I think that a big part of me really just kind of falling out of love with that person was that you were making it seem as though me being friends with this person was just, that's not what women do when they're this age and they want a family and they want to have a husband. They don't do certain things like this. And this person has these type of friends around you. Why would you want to be around them? Mind you, my best friend, we have the same friend, Javis.
Yes.
He has been around for years, decades at this point, and he has never been in a situation where he's like, "Oh, I know you're in a relationship, KK, but my homeboy wants to talk to you."
Never.
He's
He's
not that type
very
of person.
respectful.
Very
Very, I think because I want to say like because he's just like he has so many friends
Yes,
and he's so like friendly. A
loving.
man takes that the wrong way.
Yes,
And it's like, no, he's just a loving person. That's
yes.
just his personality. But
Mm-hmm.
he would never disrespect our relationship.
Ever. And I think that that's like the key to it all. Like, he's never disrespected my relationships. He's always like, I can call him at any time and vent to him about anything going on in my relationship. And I think that I don't think that it should be a thing where, oh, you can only have friends of this sex and you
Yeah.
can't have, because I think that you can talk to different people about different things and it's okay. Everybody
Yes.
don't want to talk to their homeboys about stuff. You might want to get it from a female's perspective. And I know
Right.
that I've talked to my best friend about his relationships and like, hey, you're dead wrong. You're
Yes.
dead ass wrong. Like, let's be for real. You're wrong. So I think that is like a super huge deal for me, is me having him as my best friend and him always standing 10 toes down about me no matter what. Always standing 10 toes down behind me. And me not having, like, me kind of compromising our relationship because I'm in a relationship. Like, me and his friendship is not the same. It's a little shaky. Like, we get off the phone, we be like, all right, love you. And now I can't say love you because my man right here, and he
Yeah.
feeling shaky about me
You
saying love you
shouldn't
because he
have
think
to
that I have.
choose.
Yeah, and I just, that's just like a red flag that I kind of ignore. But it's just like, I want this family, I want children.
Yeah.
This may be my person, and I don't want to mess it up. Maybe this, I've been in relationships, but I don't think I've been in a relationship serious enough to, actually live with a
Right.
person. So I think that was like a huge deal for me. So yeah, that was definitely a red flag that I ignored. Okay. So how can we help a friend that may be going through a similar situation and don't know a way out?
You just always make them feel like they can come to you no matter what. Don't
Mm,
ever make somebody feel like they can't share things with you because you may not like what they're telling you, and in your mind you do because everybody does it. Why are you still there? Like that's your thought process every time,
right.
and it's like it's easier to say that. Just be there, be that listening ear. Let them know, hey, if you ever need me, call me. If you need somewhere to stay,
Yeah. I
always
think
do
I went
that.
through I had a friend that was going through a situation that wasn't the best situation. And I think that I also think to not overconsume your friends. If
Yes.
you do not plan on leaving this man, do not overconsume your friends with this. Because I think that me as a friend, just how big my heart is, I will get deeply invested. Like, hey,
Yes.
I'm going to find the shelter for you. I'm going to find this for you. I will come get you. I'm going to do this for you. And I think
I
that
agree.
sometimes it's emotional. It drains your friends.
That was a huge reason why I didn't tell my friends though, because I really didn't want to put them in a position where I know my friends how they're gonna come about me.
Right. Yes.
I know it's gonna be next level.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And we can't come back from it.
Woo.
So let me not even
You
involve
can't
them.
even come back from it.
Yes, you cannot involve them because it's like as soon as you get them sucked in, like you just said, your friends care about you on another level.
Yes.
They love you like family.
Right.
So they're trying to protect you, and then you won't leave with them.
Yeah, I think that is a big thing because I think I did
Thing.
find all the resources for my friend, but I think the big thing was I think people have to leave when they are ready to leave. That's the main thing, and I think that once you open up that womb to tell your friends, you can there's no longer closing that back. You can't close that back up.
Right.
It's open, and now what you gonna do? My way or the highway, baby. Because what were you gonna do? And I think that us as women, we just never want to see our friends going through something like that because obviously us, we have in common that we've both been through it.
Yeah.
But I think the best way is obviously be there, but also you know your friends better than their significant other may know them. You know if they're ready to leave or not.
Right.
I feel like be there for them, but also don't overly consume yourself because once you get to the point where you're overly consuming yourself
Yes.
with your friends' things, you can't even focus on what you got going on.
Don't get heavily invested, man.
Please do not, because
Ooh.
at this point, they may turn around and get married and have kids, and now you got to be in there faking the funk.
Or you can't, or he's telling her now you can't even come around.
Ooh.
Now you missing out on your best friend's life because you gotta just play it safe. Honestly,
that's true. I like that. That is true. Okay. What barriers did you face when seeking help or leaving an abusive situation?
For me, I when so the barriers I faced were just like, do I press charges? Because this is my son's dad.
Ooh, okay.
Do I do that?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, I do it, and then now what?
Gotcha.
And then the co-parenting part of it was just like, it was a little harder to do because you're trying to like remove yourself from the situation, but you really can't because aside from the abuse, he was good to his child. He was good to the children overall. So it was like I was trying not to let that interfere. And so I'm trying to figure out how to properly co-parent without him getting too close to me. Like I had a restraining order. We're violating the restraining order so he can like be around his son. And I think I was okay with having the restraining order because it was like a safety guard for me in a sense.
Right. So if you didn't want to do something, you didn't have to.
Right. But it was still like, and people really can't understand that either because they just like, you got a restraining order and.
Yeah. For what?
Nobody can understand that. And that really puts a damper in your relationship too, because the person you're dating is like trying to understand it, but because they've never experienced anything like this, they don't really get it. No matter how you try to
may not have kids either, so they don't understand.
Get it.
Yeah.
So it's like you're sitting there, you're trying to get them to understand. Some people are not mature enough to get it. I would say because that's a level of maturity.
Right.
So it's like it's really it's a lot. That was a big thing for me.
Okay, gotcha. All right. How can we engage men and boys in the conversation and prevention efforts surrounding domestic violence?
So of course, for me, I don't like my sons to see a lot of things.
Right.
I don't even like the arguing in front of them. And granted, I have voiced to them like it's a form of communication, but do it the right way.
Right.
Like if it's starting to escalate,
yeah,
move. Like just cool down, regroup, come back.
Gotcha.
But I definitely, I'm just like really, really big on respect with my boys. I don't want them to be bad men.
Right.
So I do everything in my power. This is how you treat a woman. Whether you understand or not, they're young, so they don't really get it.
Right.
maybe the oldest might a little, but it's like as you grow, just what you see, you gonna get it. You gonna have it together. But
Right.
don't put your hands on a woman by for any reason at all.
Right.
Because if a woman puts her hands on you, leave her alone. That's
Absolutely.
how you prevent that right there.
Yeah.
Leave her alone. That's not who you need to be with.
Mhm.
That's it.
I think a way too is obviously your children are young, but even moving forward to like our friends, like talking to our friends about things like that. I think that it's a thing of, letting them know like certain things trigger us.
Yeah.
Or we've been through certain things to where this not funny. The
It's
joke that
not
works for you
funny.
today don't work for me.
Ugh.
So I think that that is a big thing too of understanding that everybody is going through their own thing in life, and or they've been through a different type of life before they met you, while they've known you. Maybe you didn't know what type of life they lived. But I think that the main thing is also educating our friends about it, like, hey, I went through this, that, and the third. And then a lot of our friends are in the phases where they're starting to have children, they have little girls.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, listen, you put your hands on a woman, listen, that bad karma, it might not hit you. It might hit
Right.
your little girls.
Right.
It may hit your grandchildren.
Your
It can hit,
sister.
yeah,
It could be
that's true.
anybody.
That's true. That is very true. So I think that that is a big thing as well. Is just really just letting them know, like, it's not okay. Like, no matter how you flip it, dip it, whatever. If you think this is cute, it's not. If you think this is attractive, it's not. If you think that, oh, it was a turn on today, but the next day they do it, it's not. Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't piss me off.
Yeah. Please keep your hands to yourself.
Please don't touch me.
It's simple.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are about to wrap it up. This is episode 9, sponsored by Glow Angels. You all, we are about to do our shot o'clock and get in our last little bit of questions. So let me go ahead and pour us up.
I'm pissed. Oh my God.
The way to get over that hangover is to keep drinking.
I don't think I agree with that one.
All right, so we are halfway through the episode. We didn't chit, we didn't chat, and y'all, shots.
Woo.
Cheers.
Go ahead. Yeah, you was ready to grab it too. Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to let you get your turn first. Baby, let me have some.
Oh, that was not good. Oh, jeez, not good.
Okay, last set of questions before we wrap it all up. So, how many children do you have?
I have 3.
Okay, and you have 3 girls, boys. Oh, wait, we don't know. We gotta
Right,
wait to the
exactly.
end to see. Okay. How do you practice self-care while juggling the responsibilities of motherhood?
So for me, it's a little easier because they have active fathers
Okay.
in their lives. So they're gone on the weekends. I have a
Okay.
break.
Gotcha.
But we co-parent so well. Like it's kind of a situation where, you know how moms feel like they're the primary parent. That's not the case with us.
Okay.
Like it's really like a 50-50 situation. Like sometimes they'll take them to school.
Okay.
You
I,
know?
I love that. I love that for you. Okay. Which child is the funniest?
I would definitely say it's the baby.
Okay.
He is so small but with so much personality.
Okay. So what is one of his famous jokes?
He doesn't necessarily have a favorite joke. His obsession with food is the funniest thing
Okay.
about him.
So he'd be ready to eat every
All
time.
all the time.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So what are some of your biggest challenges you faced as a mother?
Mm, my biggest challenge, school.
Mm.
It was easy for me to do with the first child. When the second one came, that's when it was like I kind of had to make a decision where I had to like remove myself.
Okay.
And I was like halfway there,
Okay.
but it was just so overwhelming. And then I was a young mom, so it's like, how can you, I was trying to just do too much at one time, work, care for them. Like it was really hard.
Gotcha. So how do you balance the demands of motherhood with other aspects of your life, such as work or personal hobbies?
For me, motherhood is just it's through my whole day.
Okay.
Um, Literally, they're included in everything. And now because they're a little older, it's not as much.
Okay.
So I'm able to do a lot more, especially because my oldest, he's at an age where he can assist with them.
Mhm.
So anything I need to, we have a schedule, a routine, and they follow it. They're really good at it, and it helps with the work schedule for sure.
Mhm.
So they'll come home, they'll do their thing, get ready, take showers, do their homework, eat, go to bed.
Okay. So, what are some unexpected joys or surprises you've experienced since becoming a mom?
I just never knew that you could love a person
As much.
that
Ooh.
much. You just it's like a feeling you can't even explain. But that is my favorite part. That feeling right there.
Gotcha. Okay, so how has motherhood changed your perspective on life and your priorities?
It definitely changed my life because before my children, I was trouble, um, very bad temper.
Mm.
Um, I used to be in the streets, like outside, tussling, get into it. Yeah, it
Ooh.
was bad. I think my kids have really like calmed me down and taught me patience,
Mhm.
and I'm grateful for that. That was what I needed because just I couldn't imagine me without kids. I probably wouldn't even be me. I would probably be worse off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So, what advice would you give to new moms or soon to be moms?
Um, just be patient.
Okay.
That's really important. Patience is like the biggest thing with children. Don't get frustrated with them. Um, you don't have to. I feel like you can discipline a child without putting your hands on them.
Mhm.
There are ways to do that. They call it gentle parenting. You can do it. I mean, you're gonna raise your voice sometimes.
I
That
think
happens.
I'm gentle parenting with Zoe,
Yeah,
my
like
goddaughter.
you don't have to like whoop them because I was a child who got whoopings, and I don't feel like that really was
Yeah, the whoopings be
helpful.
insane.
It wasn't helpful. It didn't really. It didn't make me feel like let me not ever do this again.
Yeah, yeah. It was like, okay, I got in trouble. Let me do it a different way.
A different way. I'm gonna find a sneakier way to
Right.
do this.
That makes sense. Okay. How do you handle feelings of guilt or self doubt as a parent?
Um, hmm. That's something that I'm still working on.
Okay.
I definitely gotta talk myself through it because I do feel guilty about a lot of things.
Mhm.
You just need that reassurance from them and other people.
Okay.
I love when people remind me or tell me
You're a good mom.
how great of a mother I am.
Yes.
Yes, that
I
helps.
think reassurance all the way around friendships,
Yes, you need
children. Yeah,
that.
you need it. Okay, so we are done talking about our topics. We didn't got into it. The heart of a survivor, baby. And I love this for you, babes.
Oh, thank
The
you.
glow is glowing. And we thank you for joining our episode,
Thank you
for
for having me.
sponsoring our episode. This episode, again, is sponsored by Glow Angel. So make sure y'all cop y'all some lip gloss. My girl has 15 flavors. And if not her, then who?
If not me, then who?
So we ready for you to reveal which one was the lie.
The lie was definitely the fact that I have both sex children. I have all boys. I
Yes.
am boy mom down. Love it here.
Yes, baby. She has three beautiful boys, ages.
12, 7, and 4.
Okay, y'all. So this has been a great episode. We thank you for joining us, coming all this way to have you here with us. As you all can see, this is Heart of a Warrior, a woman's story of strength, survival, and entrepreneurship. And we have touched on every single topic. We went to Mamiana, DV, and we went to entrepreneurship. And y'all already know my girl has her glosses. So we thank you all for joining this episode. Make sure you all tune in not next Wednesday, the Wednesday after for episode 10. Y'all, we are almost 10 episodes into the Truth Be Told podcast. So make sure you all continue to stay tuned. We are going to be on YouTube. We are going to also still be on TikTok. So make sure you all continue to stay tuned. Thank you, Kia, for
Thank you
joining
for having
us.
me.
And we are out. Bye. Episode 9 is sponsored by Glow Angels. Make sure you all copy you some lip gloss at glow, GLO.ANGELS.